What up, my friends? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have an affordable Aldi haul for you. I spent less than $100. It was actually, I think, around $84 with tax. And I got a good variety of things. I was actually kind of surprised. I went in without much of a plan. I just knew that I needed steaks. Also in this video, I'm gonna be sharing a recipe that a friend shared with me. It's a super nutritious and delicious weeknight dinner idea. Now, before we dive into the whole video, I just need to give some feedback on stuff that I got at Aldi that I didn't know when I filmed everything, just so you can make an informed decision when you're out grocery shopping. And I also kind of want to get feedback from any of you that do shop at Aldi and let me know if this was just a one-time situation or if it's something I should expect all the time. But the reason why I went to Aldi was because I wanted to get some steaks. Now, John and I don't eat steak very often. I'd say probably once every 3 to 6 months we eat steak. We generally eat things like ground turkey, chicken, etc. However, every so often we're craving steak and we'll just grill it up and everything's great. Well, I decided that I would go to Aldi to grab some steak because I had just recently seen a video of someone saying that Aldi's steak prices are like unmatched. So I got the steaks at Aldi and they ended up being among the worst steaks that I've ever had. I think the only other steak that I got recently that was worse than that was ones that I got from Sam's Club. Now I'm just wondering if that's like always with Aldi, you just kind of have to expect that the steak is going to be awful, or did I just get unlucky? I also mentioned during the haul that I don't know the type of steak to pick out half the time, but I got a New York strip, which John confirmed is generally a good cut of steak to get. So I don't know where went wrong, but it ended up we cooked it just like we do any steak that we get elsewhere, and it just turned into like basically rubber. So I don't know. Anyways, give me feedback. Let me know if you shop at Aldi normally. Do you just skip the steak section, or did I get the wrong thing? You'll see in the haul what I grabbed. Tell me what's better to grab next time, because the prices were good, but now I'm understanding why the prices were good. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, we're gonna dive into the haul. Stick around for the recipe, and then at the end of the video, we'll do a taste test to give our honest feedback on what we thought of the dish and whether it's worth your time making. I hope you guys enjoy. All right, my friends, we have an Aldi haul to share with you. I got some cool stuff this time, so I'm excited to show it off. Over here, I was really excited because we recently made some like fake poutine using shredded cheese, but I really wanted like the real stuff, so I grabbed some of these cheese curds. I don't have French fries. I should have grabbed those, but these are good for a long time. It's good until 2025. They had garlic cheddar and they also had a Cajun cheddar, but I wasn't sure if that was going to be too spicy for me, so I just went the safe route. I also grabbed some shredded Parmesan cheese. We're going to be using that in a recipe in this video. I grabbed some bread and butter chips. We recently made some Cuban sliders that I simply cannot stop thinking about. However, kind of like the cheese curds, I didn't grab the pork that I would need to make Cuban sliders, but at least we're grabbing some ingredients a little at a time, and eventually I'll get the things that I want. We don't grab steak that often, but Aldi has pretty good prices, but I am the worst at buying steak. I never know what I'm doing, and the selection was really bare. That's my thing with Aldi, is like, you're pretty much not gonna have a good selection. So I got one strip steak, and this was $15.71, $11.99 a pound, but it is like Angus beef. And because like they had other beef, but it really didn't look good. And then same thing over here, we have Angus beef. This is $6.39 a pound, and it's for a top round steak. I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, I don't even know if this is the right thing to buy. I don't know. John will find out soon. Over here, I saw this balsamic glaze, and Trader Joe's sells one very similar that I love, and I ran out of, so I grabbed that because I figured it was probably the same. I also have some really good cheese in the fridge, and I needed crackers, so I got that. John loves the Aldi selection of nuts, specifically these English toffee almonds. I accidentally grabbed 2 because I thought I hadn't put one in my cart, and then it turned out I did, but that's fine. John will love it. And then he loves cashews, so I grabbed these ones. I love anything sea salt, so I won't be upset either. Grass-fed ground beef at Aldi is a really reasonable price, so I grabbed 1. We're gonna probably have burgers for dinner tonight. Now, this is the recipe we're going to be sharing in this video. One of my friends told me about doing like an acorn squash situation with some chicken sausage. So I'm going to share that recipe that she shared with me in this video. I also grabbed a butternut squash. That's for my kids. They love butternut squash. Oh, and I just wanted to show you how cute these little acorn squashes are. Aren't they adorable? I've never seen them before. I've never cooked with them before, so this is going to be a new experiment for me. For that recipe, I also needed some kale. So I grabbed this big batch of it. For dinner this weekend, we're probably going to do steak and potatoes. So I just grabbed some of this Sunburst blend of potatoes because it looked the best. They had the little yellow gold potatoes we really like, but they were like super miniature this time. So I went with this because I just feel like it would be better to chop up. Grab some broccoli for the kiddos. This was a really good price. It was like $2.20, $1.75 a pound. So that's exciting. Also grabbed the kiddos some raspberries over here. Don't remember what the price was on that. Emotional support bananas. The banana selection tonight at Aldi was not that great, but I did grab those. And then last but not least, with the steak and potatoes, we're gonna have some corn on the cob. Feels like a very summer meal, but here we are in November doing that. So anyways, that's everything I grabbed at Aldi this evening. Let's dive into the recipe. All right, my friends, today I am sharing a nutritious meal that is perfect for the nights when you want something lighter but don't want to sacrifice flavor. The best part of this dish is it can really be customized with whatever produce you have on hand. I'll have the full recipe down below for how I put it together, but let's go through it and see what's involved. The first step was to simply split the acorn squash and scoop out the seeds. I don't know why, I absolutely love that part. Scooping out the seeds is just so satisfying to me. I then sprayed them with some avocado oil and I sprinkled salt, pepper, and a zesty Italian blend from Trader Joe's all over it. Then I laid them down in a baking dish and I added some homemade turkey stock that I had on hand. You can just use a carton of veggie stock, chicken stock, beef stock, or even just water for this step. I stuck those in a 400-degree preheated oven and let them roast for about 30 minutes. And then I moved on to dicing up the produce we were going to be using. So for tonight, I ended up going with celery, onion, and apple. But again, this would be a great opportunity to clear out any produce from the fridge that you need to get rid of. Once everything was prepped, I sauteed some garlic in avocado oil and let that cook alone for a couple minutes just until it got fragrant, and then I added in the celery, onion, and apple. I seasoned that all with salt, pepper, and more of that zesty Italian seasoning, and I let that cook for 5 to 6 minutes, and then I sprinkled some brown sugar down and squeezed in a little Dijon mustard. I stirred that all together just to let it get coated, and then I added in the chicken sausage and let that cook all together for a few minutes. The last step here was just tossing in a couple big handfuls of kale, and I let that cook until the kale darkened and reduced in size. Once the acorn squash was done, I scooped the filling into them, sprinkled with some Parmesan cheese, and placed those back in the tanning bed and allowed them to cook for about 5 to 6 minutes, just to let that cheese melt down and get a little bit golden. We did a taste test on these. Let's see what we thought. Friends, we have a super nutritious. Whoa. Just rolled right off there. Move your face. Move your face. Look at that. Look at how pretty that is. This is an acorn squash situation. It's a whole situation. It's from one of my friends, Danielle, and she is the type of cook that just throws things together, and it always sounds absolutely delicious. So she like pulled together a recipe for me for this, and I pretty much stuck to it, which you guys know is like a miracle because I don't usually do that, but I trust her.
Yeah, it's saying something if you stick to it.
Yeah, but I'm excited about this one because it seems like a very balanced meal, a very light meal. And you know, this is the time of year where like Thanksgiving's rolling around, Christmas is rolling around, we're eating cookies, we're doing the desserts. So it's nice to have like a weeknight meal that's on the nutritious side, you know? But if you wanted to, this doesn't have any like pasta or rice with it. We're just going with the veggies and the proteins. But if you wanted to, you could easily serve this with rice, or orzo would be delicious. Ooh. Or pasta, whatever you want. But anyways, we're gonna give it a try. I'm excited. It honestly looks like a really like summery vibe. I don't know why every time I cook like bright vegetables, I just think of summer, you know?
Because summer is vibrant.
It's true. I'm trying to get like a little of everything. I'm like super pleasantly surprised right now.
Yeah, because I'm going to be honest, when I saw the
The contents?
The Acorn Squash. I was like, what is that?
If our camera moves, it's because our dog is directly under us looking for leftovers. Yeah, we've never cooked acorn squash before. We're big fans of butternut squash and spaghetti squash, but I've never
even heard of an acorn squash.
This is the first year I've heard of both acorn squash and honey nut squash.
Never heard of that either.
They're apparently honey nut is like butternut squash, but even sweeter. But they're like smaller. So I haven't seen them though. I did see the acorn squash at Aldi. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, it's meant to be, because Danielle had just sent me this recipe. I don't even know what to say because there's so much happening, but it's also not too much somehow. Like, because there's apple in that. Did you know that? Did you get apple at all?
No.
There's apple. Like 2 full apples are in there. There's celery, there's onion, there's garlic, there's kale. There's the acorn squash, there's chicken sausage, Parmesan cheese, there's seasonings, there's even some Dijon mustard, there's some brown sugar. Like there's a whole mess of things happening, but somehow they all are working in harmony, man. They're like a boy band from the 90s. What? You know, they're like really like harmonizing.
Like all over the place with their style, but then they all harmonize together.
Right.
Gotcha.
They just, like, it's not supposed to make sense, but it makes sense. Who do you guys think made the most sense? NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, or my personal favorite, 98 Degrees? I was the one that I didn't want to be like everybody else. So I have always been like this. I don't like hyped things. So since NSYNC and Backstreet Boys were like massively overhyped, I was like, I'm going 98 Degrees. I won't even pick A or B. I'm going with C. You know what I mean?
Blink 182.
But anyways, sound off down below. Let me know your favorite boy band. Maybe it was New Kids on the Block too.
Ooh.
Because that's like a couple years before us. Like they were starting to like kind of sizzle out.
Sizzle out.
Yeah.
Fade out.
Fade out.
Here's my thing.
Here's his thing.
I got like a lot of, I think the sausage is definitely powerful.
Yes, that sausage is really good. That sausage was from Aldi. Chicken sausage.
Yeah, I feel like that sausage was powerful, and then the acorn squash was powerful, and then the entire list of everything else you put in there just like complements it all.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
I'm going to have Danielle pick our menu from here on out. You know what I mean? Like, I think I'm going 9, to be honest.
Wow.
Like, I want to say 8.5, but I don't think so. Like, I'm sitting here struggling to think what could make that better. Like, I don't even know if 9 is fair enough. I really love that, but this is my style meal. Like, yeah. I'm the type of person who loves variety in things. I don't like just straightforward stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I love something like this when it works, because there's sometimes when you throw a mess of ingredients into something and it doesn't work. But in this case, it works. So I think I'm going like solid 9.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is definitely a you meal.
Yeah.
Not a me meal. Yeah, come on. The sausage is there,
yeah,
but it's not a me meal. Now it is a good meal. Mm-hmm. I enjoy it, but it's not high on my list.
Okay, but what's the number? That's what the people got to know, John.
I'm really struggling here because it's.
I don't want to influence you. I want you to be honest with the audience. You know,
it's good, but I'm going like 7.5, 8.
Well, I thought you were about to hit me with like a 5 with the dramatics over there.
Well, because I'm internally torn because it's good, but I would never order this. I would never like.
But okay, let me ask you: are you gonna want leftovers of it tomorrow?
No.
No. So how are you gonna give that an 8.5?
Because it's good, but I'd rather have something.
We should come up with like a scaling. You know what I mean? Like we should come up with a system that like. You know what I mean? Like, if you would have leftover, like, I would look forward to the leftovers of that. Not even because of the fact that I'm, like, frugal and I would not want leftovers go to waste. Like, I would look forward to the leftovers of that. You don't even want the leftovers?
I'd rather have something else.
Oh, my God.
More for you.
All right. Well, whatever. So, what score are you locking in? Final answer. It's like, what's that show? What's that? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? When he's like, final answer now. And he stresses you out.
Let me phone a friend.
Phone a friend. What do you think? What is corporate going to say about this rating? You have to stay consistent with your rating because otherwise corporate is going to start questioning us.
I know.
Anyways, go ahead.
The more I talk about it, the more I'm talking it down.
I can't exhausted. Just lock in a rating already. They've got things to do, John.
I'm gonna go 7.5.
7.5. That's still a really good score, I feel like.
7.5.
Especially because, seriously, 5 years ago, I probably wouldn't have even been able to get you to eat this.
If it wasn't for the sausage, it'd be like a 5.
That makes sense. The sausage is really good. If you are at Aldi and you see that... Oh, I threw away the package. Ooh, sorry, guys. I don't know what... I'll try and find a picture on Aldi's website and put it up on the screen. If there's no picture here right now, you know that I failed the mission. But hopefully there's a picture, because that's it was an Italian chicken sausage and it's super flavorful.
Yeah.
We're going to get that feedback over to corporate. We appreciate you guys so much spending some time with us today. I hope we delivered whatever you needed when you clicked on that thumbnail, and I hope you have a magical day. Bye.